Me too.
Like no music she puts out.
Ready? Okay. So, welcome to Legal Morse of Action, our divorce podcast, coming to you from Orlando, Florida. I am Erin Morse, and I am here with attorney Kristen Rahim, and we are going to review today Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock's divorce.
Very
Which,
excited about this.
me too. I love Kelly Clarkson. I love her.
Me too. I was
She's
just saying
unflawed.
prior to the pod, I was saying that she produces no bad music in my opinion.
I was like, save it for the podcast.
Any cover she's done in a song, phenomenal.
I love
song she releases, phenomenal. I'll never forget when she won American Idol.
I
Watched
love
it in
her.
my house with my parents.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying, a moment like this. I'll never forget.
I love the that song she does where she's counting.
Oh, yes.
She's like, fuck you. I love it. And the house that I bought you. I'm like, yeah. Anyway, I love her. I think she's awesome. I think she's so cute.
Stunning.
I'm not usually like in love with when a celebrity goes and does a talk show. It's okay, but sometimes I feel like it waters down their brand. I just don't think it does with her.
I don't think so either. I watched a lot of TikTok highlights of her talk show.
I just think she's fabulous.
She is fabulous.
Anyway, how was your week? Let's talk.
My week was good. We had some unexpected things.
Yeah, that we were mad about.
Yes. But other than that, what we recovered, made sure our client was taken care of and advocated for. And we're moving forward. Other than that, my week's been pretty good. Not too hectic besides what happened today.
Yeah. My week's been pretty good. I have a old hearing that when we were in court, my client said exactly what I told her not to say. And this is from a long time ago, right? An unreasonable amount of time ago. And now opposing counsel is trying to get the order entered, which is just us making sure we agree on the language. And I'm starting to feel like I'm the problem when it comes to drafting orders. Why do I have problems with everybody when drafting orders? I'm not like so righteous or correct in everything.
No, I feel like you're very, it's not like you redline other people's a lot.
No.
What it is.
Right. And it just seems like so frequently, especially in this county. I think this one judge is going to be like, you are a problem, Erin. I am a problem. I can't get it. I can't get it right. I keep sending in these competing orders. The judge is going to this judge in particular is going to fucking decline my orders from now on. Erin and the conflict. Yeah. I'm having a problem with, and he's like, I'll just set it for hearing. I'm like, fucking do it.
Yeah, then do it.
You think I'm scared of you?
When people threaten court too, I'm like, that's hilarious. She'll be like,
yes. Yeah. And I'm like, I actually would like to never email you and just go to court.
Yeah. That is literally you.
I hate email. All right, so over here to Kelly Clarkson. All right, Kelly Brianne Clarkson was born on April 24th, 1982 in Fort Worth, Texas. She's the youngest of 3 children born of her parents' marriage, and her parents would later divorce when Kelly was 6 years old. She was predominantly raised by her mother after that. Her family put heavy emphasis on her participation in church going, and she was raised Southern Baptist. While in middle school, the choir teacher overheard Kelly Clarkson singing and encouraged her to audition. She had never received formal training before. From there, Clarkson continued to receive training, sing in the choir, and star in several of the school's musicals.
This upbringing is exactly what I expected.
It's like nice little Southern.
Yeah, like sweet Southern girl.
Yeah. Though she hoped to achieve a scholarship in college through these efforts, she ultimately ended up turning down offers of admission from several universities in favor of pursuing a career as a recording artist. See, that was a bad decision.
I was going to say, I feel like if that was me, my parents would have killed me.
I know.
They'd been like, this is a bad idea.
I think my mom would have been trying to encourage me, but I think the other side of her would have been like, I feel
like maybe they'd be like, you could do both. Let's figure this out.
Right. You're going to have to maybe do something that like.
You need a backup plan.
Yeah, you got to do something else. Clarkson won the inaugural season of American Idol, as we all remember her. Yep. In 2002, and it came with a record deal with RCA Records. Her debut single, "A Moment Like This," just heard by Attorney Raheem, reached number one on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Clarkson continued to produce hits since and is known for her vocal versatility, seamlessly transitioning between R&B, pop, and pop rock. She's one of the world's best-selling recording artists with 3 Grammy Awards, 3 MTV Video Music Awards, 4 American Music Awards, and 8 Daytime Emmy Awards.
Wow.
I didn't know she had that many awards.
No.
Since 2019, she's been hosting her own daytime show, The Kelly Clarkson Show.
So I'm going to do a little side part.
Yep.
Because this is important.
Sidebar.
I don't know. Did you remember when like Justin was the runner-up?
Guarini.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you watch the movie?
Of course
where they
I
go
did.
to spring break.
This was like the right age for me. That's why I love this Kelly Clarkson.
I thought that movie was the coolest movie.
Me too.
I thought every spring break was like that.
I thought every outfit she wore was amazing.
Yeah, and it was just.
I wish I had that hair.
And I was like convinced they were dating.
Yep, they were.
And they were going to get married.
Mm-hmm.
What is he doing nowadays?
Who cares? I don't know.
Moving in the
Yeah. Where is Justin Guarini?
Yeah, that's actually a good thing to Google. Because I feel like he was that American Idol was so big at this point that so many people were getting record deals off of this. Like I thought that he would have.
I think he had.
Maybe because like the next year
he actually had something.
I used to be a big American Idol, and I used to.
Me too. We were all big on American Idol.
And Clay Aiken was the runner-up, and he had a huge. I still know his song, not Justin's though, and I felt like Justin was bigger than Clay Aiken.
So, according to Google's AI overview, take with that what you will. The runner-up on the first season of American Idol, he's residing in the tri-state area with his family. He lives in a home that is a 2-hour commute from Broadway, where he also works. Guarini is married to Raina Cappadoci. Don't know if I pronounced that right. Okay. With whom he has 2 sons, William and Asher. He also has a stepdaughter named Lola. In addition to his theater work, Guarini is also a motivational speaker and host. And he's hosted events from Emmys, Tonys, Grammys, and also been involved in a Warrior Artists Alliance and other initiatives focused on young performers. Guarini is also known for his role as Little Sweet in the Diet Dr. Pepper commercials. I feel bad. I highlighted his Diet Dr. Pepper commercial.
It was coming out of your mouth. I was like, is that?
As it was coming out of my mouth, I wish I could have like caught it and put it back in.
He does seem like a theater kid.
Yeah. I respect it.
I'm glad he has a career.
Also, having a good theater career is very sustainable. It seems like. Yeah, I obviously don't know, but it seems like it might be more sustainable than the incredibly high level that Kelly Clarkson is.
Sure.
I think it's hard to stay famous like that for a very long time.
For sure. So going on to Brandon Blackstock, who was born on December 16th, 1976, also in Fort Worth, Texas. That is weird. His father, Michael Blackstock, is a producer, manager, and owner of Starstruck Entertainment, a talent management group company. So Brandon began to work for his father's company at a really young age, and after divorcing from Brandon's mother in 1988, the elder Mr. Blackstock married legendary country singer Reba McEntire. I don't know why I got so excited about that. I love Reba.
I was like, because it's Reba?
I love Reba's iconic.
Yeah.
Okay. Blackstock married his first wife, Melissa, in 2001, and the pair had 2 children, a boy and a girl, and they would later divorce in 2012. He had enjoyed a career as a manager and producer, though most of his known work was done in association with Clarkson and her accomplishments. It's worth noting how easy it was to find information on Kelly versus how difficult it was to find information on Brandon. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia page.
Loser. I'm already voting.
This is why I shouldn't be with him.
I'm already voting that he's the loser in the divorce.
He is the loser. Can't stand.
Who loses the divorce?
Who doesn't have a Wikipedia? Brandon.
When you're married to Kelly Clarkson?
Yeah.
I bet she had it taken down. I have no idea if that's true.
Good for her.
She did. I think it's very funny she did that. So the relationship history of Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock. Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock first met at a rehearsal for the Academy of Country Music Awards in May of 2006. Clarkson would later admit in a 2013 interview with People magazine that she set her sights on him that day, saying, "This guy walks by, making everybody laugh." And I said, "I'm going to end up with him. I know it. He walked past us at the time, and he walked by, and I was ready to take it all off. I just felt something." Blackstock was, however, still married to his first wife at the time. Whoop.
Drama.
Scandal. Brandon's father, Narvel, would eventually sign on Clarkson's manager in 2007, sometime after the release of her third studio album. In 2011, Brandon would divorce from his first wife, and a year later, in 2012, he would reunite with Kelly Clarkson at Super Bowl 47. Clarkson performed the national anthem before the game, and she was nervous to do so, but not for the reasons one would think. She said, "It wasn't that I didn't want to suck for the millions of people watching. I didn't want to suck because I was trying to impress a guy. I wanted him to be like, damn, it had nothing to do with the Super Bowl." Okay, first of all,
Okay, let's go on.
Kelly Clarkson, why is she dulling herself for this
Also,
fella?
Your damn moment when you won American Idol. You take a moment like this.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, you being even chosen to sing at the Super Bowl.
First of all, who's he?
Who is this guy?
He don't have a
Read the
Wikipedia
stepson.
page. He don't.
He doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. Scram, leave. Bye.
The couple would go on their first date 6 days later on February 11, 2012. This also happened to be the same day that Whitney Houston passed away.
Okay. Rest in peace, Whitney. I don't mean to laugh.
Houston was an inspiration and idol for Clarkson, who later said of the coincidence, "It was like, this is a bad omen." Did you watch the documentary on Whitney Houston?
No, you know what? I haven't, and you told me to, and that's what I need.
You're fired.
Okay, I'm obsessed with Whitney Houston. Like,
it's actually very sad.
I know. I watched
It's
the
very
movie.
sad.
There was like a movie where they depicted her.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize how involved in like that whole thing. But I'm obsessed with Whitney Houston.
It's very sad.
They
Whitney
played in the
Houston
hallway.
is like, her life is a tragedy, for sure.
And then same thing happened to her daughter.
It's
We could have a whole
strange
podcast.
and sick.
We have 3 podcasts. On
We
that
should
one.
do that.
We should.
Their
'Cause
weird
they're-
relationship.
Yeah, that
I
would
think
be-
they got divorced, but still kind of stayed together.
Yeah.
I don't know. Stay tuned. Next
Okay.
episode.
So the relationship between Clarkson and Blackstock gained steam rapidly from there, and then less than a year later, December 14th, 2012, they got engaged. The couple was at their Nashville home when Blackstock popped the question, catching Clarkson off guard completely. Less than a year after that, on October 20th, 2013, the couple officially married at a farm in Tennessee. When you were speaking, I was Googling the wedding because I'm nosy, and she's beautiful. The wedding was beautiful. She had this amazing headpiece. Highly recommend looking it up. She's stunning.
She's so beautiful.
Less than a month.
It was her wedding featuring Brandon.
Basically, yeah. Less than a month after that, Kelly announced that they were expecting their first child. Whoa, okay. At that time, she said that they were predicting her firstborn to be a girl. In 2014, she took to Twitter to confirm her predictions were correct. Only a girl could cause this much drama with all this vomiting. Ha. Their first daughter, River Rose, was born on June 12, 2014. On August 19, 2015, Clarkson was performing at a concert in Los Angeles while introducing her song Piece by Piece, written about how Blackstock was the first man to show her what being loved truly looked like. She began getting emotional, leading her to confess, "I was not planning on announcing this, but I'm totally pregnant. I'm having a really hard time." After that performance, she continued, "I'd like to apologize to my husband. This was not planned. I just didn't want you to think I was crazy or something. Honestly, I'm just so hormonal today."
Being pregnant is an experience you cannot explain until you're in it. You just feel weird. Everything is weird. And you just exist in a state of discomfort when you're pregnant. You're just uncomfortable. And it's aggravating.
I can't imagine doing that and being a superstar.
But then you're also like kind of cute, because I think pregnant women are very cute. I felt
Especially
cute.
when they have that cute little,
Yeah, I love it. I even like the really big, but I like it.
Yeah.
So, and you're happy and excited about what's happening. It's weird. It's weird as shit.
Did you get used to it? You said 3 children.
I liked being pregnant, so I didn't feel like it was something to get used to. Yes, you're uncomfortable, but
It's like a good uncomfortable.
yeah, it's like, also there's an end date.
That's true.
It's not
Temporary.
it's not like when you have a chronic illness or cancer or something like that, that you don't know how you're going to fix it or solve it. Like this, like that's always what I said. I'm like, it's just for a little while longer.
Yeah. it's
I'm
not
going
that
to
long.
take a nap. You know, like this is
Wake me up when it's over.
yeah, this is just I'll be over it soon. I'm very uncomfortable, yes, but it'll be over soon. Like I'll just sit on this I had a big pink ball.
Okay.
Yep. And I used to sit on that all the time because I could not sit at our kitchen table.
Sounds fun.
Those chairs, I was like, absolutely not. If we went to a restaurant and they had like the hard chairs and not ones
Yeah,
with
you're like,
cushion on
no.
it, I was like, gotta go.
Sometimes those chairs hurt.
Well, I was pregnant. I was like, I really don't care.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm like, I gotta do this for just a few months.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So the couple's second child, a son named Remington Alexander, was born April 12, 2016. In 2019, Blackstock encouraged Clarkson to host her own daytime talk show, The Kelly Clarkson Show, for which she was an executive producer. They moved their family from Tennessee to Los Angeles to fit the taping schedule and everything else involved in making the show. Kelly reported that she and her husband worked great together. He has his own office. I have my own office, and he's always on the phone. He's always working. We really do a good job of being like, I need some me time. When 2020 rolled around and the pandemic hit, Clarkson and Blackstock moved their family to their Montana ranch to quarantine. She also filmed remote episodes of the show there, and Blackstock assisted while he could, according to Clarkson. My husband is now a lighting technician, an audiovisual technician, and director, and he's also playing cowboy on our ranch. Despite this, on June 4th, 2020, a few months into quarantine, Clarkson filed for divorce from Blackstock. Okay, I have a hot take, and I could be making this up.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how like in the beginning she was like, "Oh, I want him to think this way of me."
Yeah.
And then in her performance, she's like, "I'm sorry to my husband. I don't want you to think I'm crazy."
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like she just like cared a lot? Maybe he like always was.
I think
cared
she
a
was
lot about what he thought of her.
I think she was very insecure, it sounds like.
Mhm.
And that side of her, that piece of her that has that imposter syndrome,
Yes.
maybe she had a very hard time getting over. And she's exceptional.
Oh.
And it does sound like she couldn't get over that. Like when I was pregnant, if the fact that I needed something that was like weird or strange or whatever, I didn't explain it to people, I just did it. And it's funny for you because you first met me pregnant.
Yeah, I did.
So whatever I was then was not an example of how I am normally. So you're probably like, how's she so different than when I first met her? But it's because I was pregnant and I just didn't care. If it was time to leave, I was like, time to leave. Gotta go. The day is over. The pregnancy says, get out of here.
Sunglasses
Yeah.
on, walk out.
Yeah. And I don't typically, I'm not like a say goodbye to everybody. I'm not like I don't check in with everybody when I come in. I've never really been like that. And I was even worse when I was pregnant. I was very late every day getting to the office, and I still did all my work. I didn't miss hearings. I didn't miss trials, nothing. But if I didn't have anything incredibly tightly scheduled, I did it on my time.
Yeah, I'm in front. So I was in, I walked back. It was funny. Annoying everybody.
I love that you're like that because I'm not.
Well, good. Teamwork's
Balance.
great.
Yeah.
Balance.
Teamwork makes
And
the
everyone
dream work.
has to see me as they walk out, so they're forced to say goodbye to me.
It's perfect.
It worked out great.
You belong, right?
Yeah. I make them say hi to me.
Yeah. The dissolution. So, of course, they proceeded to getting divorced. And this is the point of this podcast. So that's what we'll talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly hired Disso Queen Laura Wather, who also represented Kim Kardashian and Ariana Grande. And if you want to hear about those two divorces, you can go back a couple episodes. We got to.
While you talk about this, I need to look at
Laura Wather, to represent her in the proceeding. The petition was filed on June 4th of 2020. What's your take on the fact that quarantine caused them to highlight their issues?
You know, it's interesting. I think they spent a lot of time together, and I think just things that they were trying.
It doesn't
to
matter.
He
did wrong. I don't know. I don't know.
In my mind, I think that he was judgmental. I'm like totally going off of two quotes that
Yeah.
don't make any sense. Maybe he was like judgmental, or like they were so busy working that they weren't really spending that much time together. And then now that they were forced to actually spend time together, they're like, get me out.
Everything that I've learned from him around the internet, right? And which obviously means it's true.
Yeah.
If it's on the internet, it must be true. Anyway, of course, everything that we find is on the internet. I should always give this preface. This is our opinions. These are not facts. We don't live with these people.
Yeah,
I've never met them. If they'd like to be on the podcast, they can.
Always.
However, I don't know them personally. This is just what we find on the internet and what other people are saying. These are other people's words and opinions and news stories. We're just really compiling it. So, the petition, which was filed on June 4th of 2020, cited irreconcilable differences and a request for Clarkson to have primary physical custody of their children, a request for enforcement of their prenuptial agreement, and a request that Blackstock not be awarded spousal support, which he doesn't deserve, and a request that each party be responsible for their own attorney's fees, and a request that Clarkson's maiden name be restored. In his answer, Blackstock requested $150,000 a month in temporary spousal support. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
And $45,601 a month in child support. Dude, straight to jail.
Yeah, jail.
Just put the cuffs on yourself.
Disgusting.
Blackstock remained in the couple's ranch in Montana, while Clarkson returned to Los Angeles with their children. Just a few short months later, in September of 2020, Blackstock's talent management group, Starstruck Entertainment, filed a lawsuit against Clarkson for breaching her oral management contract and owing $1.4 million in commissions. More on that later. The suit alleged further that the company had developed Clarkson into a mega superstar and thus should be entitled to an additional $5.4 million in commissions by the end of 2020.
They did not make her a megastar.
Stop it. She was born a star.
She's the American Idol.
The American
She
Idol.
was in the Spring Break movie with Justin.
In November of 2020, a time-sharing agreement was reached and ordered. Joint legal and physical custody was awarded. Clarkson was granted majority time-sharing. Quote, the court finds that under the circumstances present in this case, the interest in providing stability and continuity for the minor children weighs in favor of the petitioner having primary custody. The level of conflict between the parents has increased. The parents have a difficult time co-parenting due to issues of trust between them. Ain't that the story of everybody divorcing?
Yeah.
Okay. Blackstock can come visit the children in California at his leisure.
Hate that.
Me too.
Hate that.
It's actually not legal in Florida.
Hate that.
And he's entitled to visitation every first, third, and fifth weekend of the month. Note that not every month has 5 weekends.
Yeah.
The children will spend Thanksgiving and from December 19 until 2 o'clock on December 25th with Blackstock. The children will then spend the remainder of the time through the end of the New Year's holiday with Clarkson. Blackstock will video chat with the children daily at a mutually agreed upon time. And of course, Clarkson and Blackstock shall not speak in a derogatory manner about the other parent to the minor children. The custodial parent shall not allow the minor children to be in the presence of any third party who speaks about the other parent in a derogatory manner. Okay, so both parties need to do that.
Yeah.
That should be a bilateral provision.
Yeah, that should be it. Yeah. Why is that just her?
I don't know.
Clearly, that was a trigger for him. Maybe the grandma said
Probably because he's the
a
villain.
jerk, and they probably made a comment in front of the child, and then that was brought to him, and then that seemed like it was probably something on him that he needed to see.
And she's like, fine. I don't even need you to have other people speak good of me.
Yeah, I don't need you, buddy. You
Tell
don't even have Wikipedia.
Tell them to just go on Google. I'm amazing. In July of 2021, Clarkson requested a bifurcated divorce. The parties still had not reached an agreement as to many of their assets, and Blackstock was contesting their prenup. In the motion, Clarkson stated that she and Blackstock both deserved the opportunity to build a new life, and the request for bifurcation was granted the following month. I just want to say that my prenups withstand
Always.
litigation.
They do. That is.
They've been
100%
challenged, and
it.
then I won.
They always stay.
And got attorney's fees for it.
Mm-hmm. So at the same time, temporary support was ordered. So Blackstock was awarded $150,000 per month in spousal support and $45,600 per month.
Like
Carson's majority timeshare designation. That's what I was just about to say. How did he get that with, at least the child support, with them being with her?
She's balling.
She is falling. Over the next several months, Clarkson and Blackstock continued to litigate about the marital assets and the
I'd fight him to death.
Blackstock did challenge the prenup by requesting spousal support and attorney's fees. Her prenup was allegedly segregated the assets and income derived during the marriage, with Blackstock contested by requesting a split of their accumulated property during the marriage. The couple's marriage in Montana was a major point of contention. Also, this made me think of something. It's not like he has a bad career.
Right. He works with
Yeah, like it's not like as if he's like
a stay-at-home parent.
Yeah, that never has no career, no nothing.
No career prospects.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Okay. So obviously the couple's ranch in Montana was a major point of contention. Like I said, Clarkson was the sole owner of the property and she bought it on her own and she wanted the property to be sold. Blackstock, however, who wanted to retire from the music industry, oh, there we go, to become a full-time rancher, claimed he needed the property for work.
Loser.
He also claimed throughout the divorce that
he wanted to retire because his cash cow.
That's literally what
was
it was.
Leaving.
Absolutely. I bet you that had part of it. Maybe he just didn't want to do anything anymore, and then she was just sick of taking care of him.
Have you ever experienced that in your career?
Yeah. So in August of 2021, it was ruled that Blackstock would be responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of the ranch, somewhere in the ballpark of $81,000 a month. Woo!
Good.
Clarkson initially attempted to have him removed from the home. However, she ultimately agreed to give him a 5% share. Ultimately, their divorce would be finalized in March of 2022 with the terms that seemed to shock the general public. Okay, so here's the settlement terms. So Clarkson was ordered to make a one-time payment to Blackstock in the amount of $1.3 million. We believe that this was for attorney's fees, but it couldn't really come from a credible source.
Okay, so that's just a guess.
A guess. Oof. Blackstock was awarded monthly spousal support in the amount of $115,000 and monthly child support in the amount of the same amount of $45,601.
That brutally specific amount.
Very specific. And the spousal support was terminated in January of 2024. Hell yeah. Don't be paying attention.
Which was like a year? A little less than 2 years.
A little less than 2 years.
Yeah.
So Clarkson received both properties in Montana, also the marital home in California, and Blackstock was ordered to pay Clarkson $2,000 per month while he remained another Montana resident until June of 2022. Clarkson received the family pets, good for her, multiple cars, including a Ford Bronco, an F-250, a Porsche
Cayenne.
I didn't even know that was the name of the car, like cayenne pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And a flight simulator. Okay. Blackstock received the farm cattle, livestock, stock dogs, and horses, multiple vehicles, including an F-350, F-250, ATV, and several cat snowmobiles, a golf simulator, and a couple Patek Philippe watches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Public perception of this was overwhelmingly in Kelly's favor. The press and the public alike were enraged that Clarkson would owe so much to her ex-husband. Clarkson's net worth at the time of the divorce estimated around $45 million, while Blackstock's was estimated around $10 million, making her the higher.
Yeah, but that's not that different for someone who's a bum-ass loser.
Yeah.
10 million, take your 10 million and beat it. All right, the business lawsuit. This is my favorite detail. Okay. Way back in September of 2020, Blackstock's talent management company, Star Trek Entertainment, filed a suit against Kelly Clarkson for breach of contract and requested $1.4 million in unpaid commissions. In turn, Clarkson filed a petition against Blackstock and Starstruck with the California Label Commission, which is a required pre-suit action in California, because you know how I learned that? Hearing about all of those with what's the big case that's going on?
Really?
Blake
Sheldon?
Blake Lively.
Oh yes.
Blake Lively had to
Baldoni.
do this with Justin Baldoni, accusing Blackstock of unlawfully securing work for her and taking on work that her talent agents should have handled. Things got quiet on this front while the couple's divorce proceedings took place. However, in March of 2023, a multi-day evidentiary hearing took place on the matter. The presiding labor commissioner ruled in November of 23 that Blackstock collected fees on multiple projects in violation of California's Talent Agencies Act. This act prohibits anyone other than licensed talent agents from procuring engagements for professional artists. Blackstock's violations include, but are not limited to, Kelly Clarkson's gig on The Voice, her promotional deal with Wayfair, and her promotional deal with a cruise line. Blackstock was ordered to pay $2.6 million. Now let's do the math. How many months of yeah, I think I did this one time. 115.
1,000. 'Cause it was
So
less
it
than 2 years.
24, so it was 23 months. 115 times 23.
And about 2.6 million.
That's exactly how much, right?
Sucker.
So Blackstock was ordered to repay Clarkson 2.6 million due to this violation. So basically all of the alimony she got back. Same amount of money,
Good for
right?
her.
I know. That's why I remember
for
this. I was like,
her.
this is the same amount of alimony. And when Sam and I were reading this, like when
Yeah.
it first came out, because it was juicy, he was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it's the alimony. She got it right back.
How satisfying would that feel?
Oh, so good for her. The only win for Blackstock was his go around and his ability to keep the $750,000 he'd already collected on the commissions from the Kelly Clarkson show, which Clarkson had requested he repay her. So he got to keep it, but it doesn't sound like he got continued.
Yeah.
In December of 2023, Blackstock appealed the labor commissioner's ruling and requested a trial de novo, which means of new, so completely refreshed. Under the jurisdiction of the Los Angeles Superior Court. Clarkson fired back in March of 2024 with her countersuit in which she sought any and all commissions, fees, profits, advances, producing fees, or other monies that she previously paid to the group dating back to 2007 due to Starstruck having previously been found in violation of labor rules. A trial was set for August of 2024, but by May 2024, the parties had come to an agreement in a confidential settlement. I hoped that she had won even more money back.
I hope so too. Man, if I was his dad, because his family don't trust, I'd be so mad.
I mean, it probably that
opened up a whole liability thing for them.
That easily
could damage reputation too.
Well, nobody wants them now, and
Yeah.
easily was their biggest cash cow.
Yep.
Right? So they fucked up.
Yeah, they
also, if he wasn't such a jerk in the divorce, she might not have done this.
I agree.
If she was like, go away quietly, take the money you made, I'm going to do this, right? He made a quote about her, and I'm going to find it. That was fucking disgusting. Pardon me.
We don't like loser. He'd act like talking parents, or our family wizard. They sound like
he just needs to disappear.
Yeah, he needs to go away. Go be a rancher.
Okay, so this is from People magazine. And it is that Brandon Blackstock said she wasn't sexy enough to appear on The Voice. Like, he was nasty. Okay.
See, my intuition is right about this guy.
So People says Kelly Clarkson's former husband and manager, Brandon Blackstock. This is from January of 2024. I remember this, and I remember how I felt reading this. Kelly Clarkson, former husband and manager, Brandon Blackstock, allegedly did not think his wife was sexy enough to appear on The Voice as a coach. The New York Post reports that the Grammy winner claimed in court last year.
That's disgusting.
In November, Blackstock was ordered to pay Clarkson $2,641,374 for allegedly unlawfully procuring deals as her manager that should have been handled by a talent agent. Okay. According to court documents, Kelly Clarkson claimed Blackstock told her The Voice was looking for a more sex symbol type and cited Rihanna as an example.
Are you kidding me?
Mean.
That is disgusting.
Mean. Kelly Clarkson is amazing.
He pulled up a mirror.
Also, by the way, this is a singing talent show, and she started her career on a singing talent show. Why wouldn't she be the perfect candidate for The Voice as a coach? Ideal. She lived their life.
Disgusting.
She has the life that they're all on this for. So it just, I think he said a lot of other like mean stuff.
Imagine what he was saying behind closed doors to her.
Even if he would say that publicly or say things like that to her, he felt real bold.
Yeah.
Disgusting. And it sounds like she really loved him. And he sucks.
It seems like she was always trying to please him.
Right? The musician was asked about her ability to recount the specifics of the alleged conversation with Blackstock and her lawyer, Ed McPherson, per the Post, to which she said, well, a wife doesn't forget a time she gets told she's not a sex symbol. So that stays.
How hurtful.
I know. Of course you wouldn't forget.
Never.
So
There's definitely probably some verbal abuse going on.
Yup.
So Clarkson continues to host her talk show and put out new music. In 2023, she moved her family and her recording studio to New York City for a fresh start.
And to be further away from
Yep.
Blackstock. I don't know if
Further
that's why, but that's what I imagine.
In January of 2025, Kelly announced that she would be starting her own record label, but only as a channel for her to release her own music. She won't be signing other artists.
I think that's brilliant.
Good for her.
It's like me starting my own firm.
Yeah, literally.
You know?
So as for her love life, she said recently in an interview that she hopes love will come along for her again one day, but that the single mom life doesn't leave her much room for dating. For the time being, it seems she is focused on taking care of her children and loving herself. Blackstock did exactly what he said he was going to do by retiring from the music industry to become a rancher. He founded and continues to operate the Valley View Rodeo in Montana. Little else is publicly available apart from that.
Well, Blackstock, and he's a rancher because he trashed his career
I was gonna say
he treated Kelly Clarkson.
He had no other choice but to retire.
Exactly. There was nothing else that he could do. So he needs to just quietly play on his ranch with his horses.
I hope that he always has a moment like this stuck in his head.
I hope that he regularly steps in horse poop.
Always.
You know, it's what he deserves.
Seems like she not really dodged a bullet completely, but at least she got out of it.
She had enough money though. This is go away money.
Yeah.
Okay. She can rebuild. She has ongoing income. I don't think ranches make that much money. How do they make money?
I don't know. My aunt and uncle, they owned a farm and they sold the milk to Cabot Cheese.
Oh,
So they
okay.
made very good money doing that.
That's great.
So, a rancher is kind of similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. So Google tells me. It's on the internet. It must be true.
He's our third co-host today.
They do it by selling livestock, by horse boarding, tourism, or hunting leases.
Okay.
I don't know.
Definitely the complete opposite of what we do.
Yeah. Nothing like that. All right.
So we do shovel shit every day.
We just do it in the email format. Oh my God. Yeah, that's.
This was a good one.
So here's a Reddit post, right?
Yay.
How do ranchers make money from ranching? Many ranches have supplemental farming, haying enterprises. They generate revenue by selling a portion of their crops and hay. And then the top answer is, that's the neat part. You don't. Anyway, that's the answer. That's the answer. That one guy on Reddit said it, and must be true.
So Brandon Blackstock makes something.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, he only gets his child support now.
Yeah,
I don't like
the one thing I don't like is I don't like that he can just see the kids whenever he wants.
Well, he has the first, third, and fifth. So it's like liberal and open time sharing, but guaranteed he's entitled to it.
Yeah.
How do they do that? Well, she lives in New York. Also, did she file for a relocation? Is that required in California? These are the questions.
That is true.
He probably just agreed. She was like, "You want me to keep fighting you?
Hey, you want me to take more
I'll fucking find a new way, you
little
little bitch." Yeah, I want that ranch back. Yeah. So I love that song of hers. I love when she performs spite against him.
Yeah.
When she puts it in a performance, her spite against him. I'm like, yeah.
Well,
fuck that guy.
Her talk show host is amazing. It's always so happy-go-lucky.
I know.
Very heartfelt. She just seems very genuine as well.
I know. And she is sexy.
She is.
Oh my God, she's so pretty.
So pretty. He's a loser.
And she's so talented. And he is mid at best.
And he was dimming her light.
Mm-hmm,
if he was a great guy, I'd be like, they're cute.
Yeah.
But he's a jerk. So
he's a jerk. Anyway, Kelly Clarkson won
Kelly
the divorce.
Clarkson. Also, hit us up, girl. We love you. You can't tell.
Hit us up, girl. We love you.
We'll put you on the spot.
Anyway, that's what we have for today. This is this episode of Legal Morse of Action. And, catch us next time or catch us for a consult if you think you need it. Morestashfirm.com.